Hi there. Today is, I always have to look at my calendar, Tuesday, February 15th. I hope that you're all doing well. This starts the official last half of the 28 days. Yesterday it was halfway through, and I thought it was oh, look at this now. I'll show you my scarf in a minute. But I thought that the badass calendar was a good one today because remember in January, I posted a video. That's kind of a funny little thing right there. I posted a video saying that I was going to do something that terrified me, that scared me, because I've had these beliefs with me most of my life that nobody wants to hear what you have to say and don't talk and don't ruin your reputation. You might say something you might later regret. All of these things in my head. And the irony is, actually, I was thinking about this when I was walking yesterday. I love training. I love teaching, training. I majored in education in college, not because I was passionate about teaching, but because it seemed really easy to me. That sounds kind of bad, but it seemed easy. I love working with kids, which I did for a while early in my career. I love working with adults. I worked in human resources for years, and many, many people who came into our organization said, "You don't seem like an HR person." And I said, "Tell me more about that." They said, "Well, usually HR is just forms pushing and kind of grumpy, and you don't ever want to talk to HR, and you've created such a nice space, and we love to come in here, blah, blah, blah." So I love connecting with humans, and I love talking, but not like jabber, 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 jabber. I feel, I feel at home in front of an audience, training, not just jabbering about nothing, but training, teaching, helping people see different perspectives and perhaps shift ever so slightly to move in a new direction or a different direction they hadn't considered. When I was in grad school, I wasn't a spring chicken when I was in grad school. I was in my 30s, and I remember some class we had to take. We needed to write down, there were so many amazing classes. The first one I took that really made me fall in love with the program was called Stories in Organizations. And it was how do we as leaders in organizations tell stories to get, to communicate the mission and vision versus, and the example that I remember is a CEO getting up in front of the stockholders or the board or, really important people and giving stats. Third quarter stats are this and fourth quarter stats are this versus, let me tell you a story about what happened in our third quarter. We started the quarter at a pretty low point. You'll remember we had blah, 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 blah. And we had a staff of 28 people who were a little down because it had been a pretty bad second quarter. Well, let me tell you what happened. So on the fourth day of the third quarter, and you start to tell this story about how your organization is thriving. And you can even tell stories about how you're not thriving because you can get people on board by, it's by being who you are and sharing your authenticity, your authentic self. It's not by spinning a story and saying, "Oh, how can I get them to believe me?" Or "How can I get them to buy in?" Or "How can I spin this so it sounds good even though it isn't good?" And it is not about that at all, although some people think that it is. It's about showing up, doing authentic work, doing work that is authentic in your heart. And it doesn't even have to be work. Like, what are we spilling our time with during the days? Are we volunteering? Are we giving back? If we love working with kids, are we working with kids? I volunteered at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia because I loved working with families and kids. It fed my soul. And so in grad school, excuse me, it's probably the green bean fries still. One of the things we had to do was to identify a career or a next move. So a lot of people went into this program and then they left their jobs and went in a different direction. I was actually, that happened to me too. Interesting. But I decided that what really felt good in my soul is that I didn't know what to call it. I wanted to be a motivational speaker, but not like the cheesy motivational speakers. You know who I'm talking about. No, not who. I'm not talking about any specific person, but you know what I'm talking about. I wanted to be a person who could connect with others on a stage. And I had connected with people on stages. I have talked with, whether it's on a stage of 10 people learning really complicated sciencey physiology stuff with regard to HeartMath, which I love, or teaching kind of quantum physics things with regard to horses, which is really fun. Or I've been on a stage in front of 1,000 people or 500 people, and it is a comfortable place for me. So this activity I'm doing in February, while terrifying because of all the false beliefs of you're not good enough, nobody wants to hear you, this is really scary for me. I'm going to go back to Penn now. When I was in grad school, we had to identify what we wanted to do, like create this new you. And so I said that I wanted to be this motivational speaker or someone who's up on stage or in a space like this or in a space who's able to share information, like I said. And we had to send a survey out to, I don't know how many people, maybe 8, 10, 12 people who knew us really well. And they could be grad school classmates, colleagues. They could be colleagues from a work environment, best friends from high school, anybody who knew us really well. And so I sent this out there, and it was like this, this is what I want to do with my life. And I got back mostly, this is funny because I don't even remember the positive ones, but I remember being really, 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 really surprised and really disappointed in somebody's response, because they said, I really don't see Kay doing this. It wouldn't feed her soul. It wouldn't blah, blah, and all of these reasons why and how it wouldn't be a good idea. And I remember, and this is what we do in life a lot, as I remember looking at that and thinking, yeah, that probably isn't the right thing. Well, I don't know what I should do then. Because one person on one piece of paper said I shouldn't do that. So, that was kind of solidified then, is how do I find not only what I'm really passionate about, but what everybody else thinks is great too. And so this February 28 days of video is about, I don't really care what other people think. Yeah, we all want to get high fives and accolades and things like that. And also, this is feeding me. And some of the feedback I get back from people, from y'all, is really good. Like, wow, that was really on point today, or wow, that really resonated with me, or things like that. So that does feed me a little bit, but also it's not my identity, which is really nice. So again, I never know what I'm going to talk about when I click play. So today's badass calendar, thank you, Jen Sincero. Success equals your dreams plus fear plus doing it anyway. Now, success doesn't mean you have to make $1 million. It doesn't mean you have to make $100,000 or $50,000 or $10 an hour. It doesn't mean anything like that. It means, to me, what feels good and right and in alignment with our greatest good and highest purpose. And of course, it can change from year to year, or it can change from month to month, but what feels good and right in this moment. And so far, every single day, a video has felt good and right and true. So, I have a phone call in about 8 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up. Success equals your dreams plus fear plus doing it anyway. And the fear can be fear I'm going to fail. But for me, it wasn't ever the fear I'm going to fail, because I have enough confidence in myself to know that whatever I put myself into, I'll do really well. That's not arrogant. That is just a fact. The careers I've had, I've been very successful. No, what is success? I've loved what I've done. So it's not that. What my fear is fear of somebody saying, you shouldn't do that. That's not good. That's not the right thing for you to do. And so at the ripe old age of my mid-50s, I am doing something that scares the poo out of me. And, but I'm not scared when I'm doing it. That's the funny thing. So again, it's rewriting. What I'm doing is sharing information that hopefully resonates with some of you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. And shifting the perspective and shifting my steps and taking a step in that scary direction and seeing where that next step takes us. So I told you I'd tell you about my scarf. So this is a scarf that I bought at a boutique in Asheville, and it looked really cute in the store, and I've never worn it. It's kind of a florally one, which isn't really me, and also it has horses on it. So this is a scarf I'm wearing today. I've got a couple meetings. I'm going to donate blood, and so I thought, well, let's try it today. I hope that you all are doing great, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day. And I was going to say, go find daily hearts. Here's a card I've got ready to send to somebody. So there it is. That's not really one because I bought that, but I'll find one I know. Have a great day, y'all. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.